Okay, just got done reading Onward. The CEO of Starbucks talks about the time a little bit before the housing market crisis and then a little bit afterwards. So he talks about the downturn and the struggle that Starbucks went through. That it was pretty interesting. He offers some good insights on a personal level, and because he's got a co-author, I think maybe it could be partly influenced by her. All right, she's the one who wrote his story. He told it, and then she wrote it for him, and she wrote it in a personable way, like it feels like he actually wrote it himself, like he's actually speaking directly to you. As you can see in all these pictures, they're colorful. And he's been to Africa. There's Rwanda. They got a great spot for coffee beans. He gets the best deal. Although Colombia's got some of the best coffee beans, partly because of the high and low mountains. There's really a big geographical uniqueness in Colombia. I'm not familiar with. Something I'd like to look at Google Map or the Google Earth and see the topographical features, because apparently that seems to really help with coffee, the strength of the coffee, because if the coffee trees go through some strain, then they'll taste better or something like that. So he talks about being a CEO, and he uses small case C, small case E, small case O to say like he's just another worker, but he's taken full control of this company. He wants to manipulate the words a lot to make it his own culture. It's kind of annoying to me. Like, he doesn't like the globalization reference to his company, because his company is on a worldwide scale. He doesn't see it as a global company, like there's a global division and then the U.S. Portion. He sees his company as a whole entity. All right. He refers to the baristas as his partners, not his employees. They're his partners. They're in it as much as him. That he wants to inspire the same motivation in them as he has. But you know, the Starbucks is, I heard a few years ago, known for having really great training. There's like one of the best places to go to get some employee training, and what they focus on is the personalization between the coffee barista and the customer. They want to make it look personal between them. All right, and the barista puts on a theater performance. Apparently, when Howard stepped down, the theatrics of it kind of went away. The taste of the coffee diminished, and he came back to bring that back, because the ratings, or people rate the stores and give it lower ratings. So he wanted to bring that back. He wanted to bring back a theater, because he learned that the theater aspect came out. He learned about it in Italy, where he was just amazed by the performance that the barista in Italy did when he was preparing the coffee and stuff. It was like a face-to-face interaction. The barista would face you. He prefers the barista to face the customer as much as possible, not turn around, and put on a nice show, as well as make a good coffee. He talked a lot about in the first half about how he shut down the Starbucks for like 6 hours one night just to train baristas on properly making coffee. And they started an aroma task force, because he wants the Starbucks stores to only have a nice fresh coffee smell. They grind them right there, whereas as at a time they were grinding them at the processing plant, which is in Kent, Washington. That's where they roast the coffee beans. Yeah, there's a lot going on. He talks about his childhood history. He has a first book too, so I'm sure there's a lot more information about his childhood in that. He just kind of grazes over his childhood in this. But yeah, he lost 600 stores for a time. The stock market was down. They stopped reporting on the same store sales when the market was down in 2008. So that was just like a way to kind of cover up the losses, and he just rationalized that it wasn't necessary to report those numbers anyway. And then Starbucks seemed to have gotten quieter and quieter during the downturn, as I'm sure a lot of companies did. He wouldn't. Where was it? There's a mandated quiet period on page 157 where the public affairs, they wouldn't answer any of the media. The day is 2008 or so. It was just getting worse and worse. He felt like he stepped in and made some necessary changes that helped turn the company around. I mean, a lot of companies did go under. A lot of companies went out of business. So maybe the changes he made helped turn it around during the downturn. But yeah, it's an interesting book.